of protein, not because I think it's going to help me build more muscle. I don't think eating more than 150 grams a day is going to help, but it will help with things like connective tissue recovery, things like that. It can help with satiety. There are benefits to it, but there's a certain threshold. And here's the point. People will say, well, it's more convenient. How do you figure? I've messed with some of that years ago. I remember at one time I was trying to train. I worked a 60-hour week, and I would hit the gym on my way home. Monday through Friday, I was training 5 days a week after working 12 hours at a corporate job. I found that protein shakes weren't convenient at all working a 12-hour job. I had access to a refrigerator. I had no trouble getting 3 servings of protein every day, of 50, 60 grams or more, 3 times a day, and even a little bit more right before bed, while working a 12-hour shift and going to the gym with an hour lunch break. So, I mean, that's pretty much your whole day taken up right there. You don't have time for much else if you're going to sleep. And here's what I found. I could eat breakfast and have protein in it. I could eat lunch, whether I took my lunch or I went out to eat. I had a refrigerator at work. And you put food in there, or you go out to eat. You get protein either way. You go to the gym, whether you could eat something on the way to the gym. You can take some extra food with you. You can eat a meal as soon as you get done training. You need another meal right before bed. All right, that's 4 big servings of protein. You eat 50 grams on each of one of those, you can get 200 grams, no problem. People say, well, protein shakes are convenient. I found them not to be. Because you got to mix them, and then you get stuck with this stinky container that you have to deal with later. All right, protein powder, when it's been used and you let it sit in some container after you drink it for 6 hours, you either got to wash the container at work, or even worse, you have a job where you don't really have a refrigerator to throw it in afterwards. That thing stinks, and they start to stink, and then there's an extra cleaning inconvenience with those, even the plastic containers you mix this stuff in. So that's not more convenient. You know what I used to do? I used to take to work all the time, throw Greek yogurt in the refrigerator. I kept natural peanut butter and Greek yogurt at work all the time to get extra protein in. That's all it required. That's all I had to do. There's no extra cleaning. Those are things you can eat right out of the container with a plastic spoon and throw the spoon away if you want, if you got those at work. Or you can bring a metal spoon. But you see the point. There's no need for those things. You can keep that stuff at work. And some people say, well, I don't have access to a refrigerator. Well, most jobs do. And even if you don't, again, you can probably go out and eat something for lunch every day. You can go through and grab a sandwich with a bunch of chicken breasts on it. Just not that difficult. So when people talk about the convenience factor, I don't get it. It really isn't there, because the mixing of it and keeping it around is annoying. It's just as easy to have that stuff. And if you're serious about gaining muscle, you're going to pre-cook fair amounts of meat. You're always going to have a lean protein around, because you're going to tend to pre-cook it 4 or 5 pounds at a time, if not more. And that's just normal. That's normal for people who train hard. So when people talk about the convenience factor, I just don't get it. But does it work? Sure, it works just as well as Greek yogurt or steak or chicken does. So it works. It's not that convenient, though. I disagree with the convenience. I just don't see it as someone who has had a really busy lifestyle while training. And at the time, yeah, I was squatting over 500 pounds while still working that job. On a good day, I was benching high 300s. I think I'd hit 400 once again at that point. This was a long time ago. It's actually shortly after I come off all the gear years ago. I was like 29, 30 years old. Then the point is, it just wasn't that convenient.